Hello, Agent Partners. Jake Yencarelli here, Keller Williams Realty, Tampa Bay, Florida. You have joined our Productivity Committee conference call line. And so first I want to thank everyone for being on the call. Really exciting day today. So today, for the Productivity Committee, we have Ashley Lay on the line. So our Productivity Committee meets every week on this conference call line for 15, 20 minutes, and we talk about our production, challenges we're having, and then hold each other accountable to hitting our weekly goals. And then once a month, we open the call up to pretty much any agent who wants to join from around the country, and then we have one of our agent partners from around the country, mega agent who's doing business at a high level, join the call and talk about how they are staying in production in their business, how they are managing their business, and what they're doing to hit their goals and to grow and expand. And so today we've got Ashley Lay on the line. Ashley, are you on the call with us?
I am.
Hey, thanks so much for joining. Welcome.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, well, we're excited to have you. Right now I have everyone muted. I do have the call recorded as well. And so we will, I'll be able to, if you heard something and you didn't get the chance to write it down, I'll be sending out a link, posting that link out to everyone after the call as well. And so Ashley, tell us about yourself, where you're from and your business, and we'll get this kicked off.
All right, great, sounds good. I've been in business going on 15 years. I started with the Blue Sign Company for about 9 years, and have been, I'm beginning my 15th year, because I've been with KW, this is 4 years and something now, counting, I don't know, don't have it exactly. It has been the greatest experience of my life. It has changed my life. It has changed who I am. It has changed how I do business. And it has, I guess I would say, it has made me a better person, because so much at Keller Williams has taught me how to give back and to frame everything I do in business by looking at it for how it impacts the people that I'm in business with, and the people on my team, and our clients, and then our agents in our office. So I'm excited to share some of that with you today.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So for those who are just joining, we are going to likely have people joining the call midway through here. Again, everyone's on mute, and then how we'll structure this is Ashley is going to talk a little bit about her business, 15, 20 minutes or so, give some ideas on how they're staying in production, and then we'll open it up to some questions that you would like to ask her, and then roll in about a half an hour max here, and we'll be on with our day. Sound good?
Awesome.
Great. Okay. So yeah, Ashley, tell us a bit about what you guys are doing for your goals and how you're staying in production.
Okay. Last year, I believe we did about 170 units. This year, our goal is 300 units. This is an interesting year also because I got out of production completely in January. I was our listing specialist. So now our team consists of a listing specialist, 4 buyer's agents, and then on the admin side, we have a director of operations, we have a marketing person, we have a transaction coordinator. I say marketing, she's also our listing manager, I should say. And then we also have an inside sales agent on our team that has helped us tremendously. We are very much a hyper-local team, and when I say that, I mean that the majority of our business comes from within the small community, the northern part of our county. And I think it's because I raised 3 children. My husband and I raised 3 children there. I was insanely involved in the schools and everything about that. And what has happened then over the last decade and a half is I have built a business that and been so much involved in different areas and different parts of people's lives that we're now seeing a huge payoff with that. With the majority, 85% of our business last year was referral business.
That's awesome. Yeah,
right,
so I think of Gary Keller talking about the 10% return, and that's I'm in Bold right now, the labs for Bold, and it's been completely reworked to have the focus on the database and the long game.
Right. And one of the things that we've observed with our inside sales agent now is that just every listing that we get, every contract that we get, every open house we're holding, we are concentrating highly, in addition to our referral our sphere calls, because we do a lot of that. She's also doing a ton of circle calling, and back to that hyper local and the awareness in the area of your business. That is paying off in droves, because she spends a large portion of every day doing that, and it has really helped us in a shifting market. So I don't know if you guys are seeing much of a shift where you are. What we are seeing is it's very interesting. It's not a traditional shift, because I worked through that in 8, 9, 10, and 11 when things went very south here in North Carolina. However, what we are seeing is that shift of, it's the inventory. It's the people not willing to put their homes on the market because they can't find the right home for themselves. It's the downsizer and the upsizer that if both of them would put their homes on the market, they could swap. So we have to get creative in how we address that issue, because otherwise we would be like every other agent in our market that's walking around going, I don't have any listings, I don't have any business. There are a ton of buyers, but people can't put the buyers, agents are having a hard time putting the buyers in homes because the inventory is not there. So we've gotten very creative with what we're doing. We are doing open houses very purposefully. We are, let me back up and tell you why our open houses are so successful for us and why we're purposeful. It all starts with our marketing plan. And once we have gotten a listing, which is gold in our area at this point, we are very purposeful in how we market that property. It goes live on a Tuesday, and we set all these expectations in our pre-listing video and then our listing consultation to the client, telling them what to expect. We tell them your home's going to be covered up with people for the several days we have it active. But if you'll bear with us, you'll have an excellent turnout, and this is what we can do for you. And it's that we go live on a Tuesday. We advertise it all over social media and the internet, everywhere we can promote the open house and the new listing. And then we hold that house active until after the open house, be that a Friday evening, a Saturday, or a Sunday. And then we present the offers. And what that does is it does several things for your business. First of all, I get frustrated when I see agents that have they've put a sign in the yard, they've sold the house in 24 hours, they told their seller to take the first offer because it's full price, and in my opinion, they are not doing their fiduciary duty to that seller, because I call it seasoning on the market. If you hold it open that amount of time, you're able for all of the potential buyers to see it. You potentially end up with a stack of multiple offers by Monday morning. You very likely have a cash offer in that stack of offers, which is going to be potentially best for your client. You can negotiate a backup offer. You can potentially negotiate no repairs except anything structurally related, we typically say. You can negotiate the seller paying difference between appraised price and contract price. And so you've done your duty to the seller, and they've gotten the best offer. Now, what did it do for your business? Well, what happened in those 6 days your house was active? Ton of buyers calling about it, right? So then our phone, after the first couple of days, when it hits everybody's favorite, not Zillow and Realtor.com and KW.com and everything, we begin to get the calls on it. And then we turn that into, as Gary says, at least 2 buyers. We potentially turn that into multiple buyers, which, we desperately need buyers and sellers in this market. And then with the buyers, we are very purposeful in teaching our agents then how to win multiple offers. So we're successful. We track our rates, and we're successful about 78% of the time in the last several months. And that's because we have I'm not going to spend all day giving you guys details on that. If you are interested, I can email out the sheet where I teach the class on multiple offers. But we are very, very purposeful in what we do, down to the letter to the seller, the calling the agent, finding out what they want, getting fully pre-approved before you even start the process, all of that so that your buyer's in the strongest position when they're making that multiple offer, so that, again, you're getting more, you're helping your buyer win, and you're getting more business for your business, right?
Yeah.
So those are some of the details that we do on that buy side. And then with our open houses, for part of that marketing plan, we go to the nth level with those. We go out and do the full on, they have instructions to put out 10 signs for every listing. I heard that, I think, a year or two ago at Mega Camp. That's been another huge thing with being a hyper-local agent. Everyone, if you're holding 5 open houses that weekend, because we typically are putting on 3 to 5 homes every Tuesday. So so we're going to hold at least those 3 open and a couple more if there's any price drops or anything like that. Your signs are everywhere. That's 50 signs potentially in the community. And then when you get them in, with all the online advertising as well, we are giving a clipboard when they walk in. We have snacks and drinks and et cetera set up for them. We've become the source of the source. We have neighborhood information with all the homes for sale, CMAs for just the neighborhood. We give out the clipboard that has all the questions about the home and tell them this is for our seller. If you'll fill it out and turn it in, and some of our agents will do gift card giveaways, like a gas card for $10 or $20. And then even you're very purposeful about what's on that clipboard, because the clipboard even needs to say, do you have a house to sell? Because what we're doing is they say what you focus on expands, right, in bold. So our agents are focused on ferreting out all the listings that are potentially there, not ignoring those listings and just going for the buyers. They're going for the listings with that. And with that giveaway, I've got one agent that will call everyone that come into the open house to ask to meet them to deliver their gift card. Everybody wins in his open house. Many times he ends up with, he'll come back and he'll be like, oh, got 2 listings for you and 5 buyers. And it's just fantastic. So you just got to be super purposeful with everything you're doing as the market begins to shift a little bit to see that productivity continue to go up.
Sure. So real quick question on that. When you say you launch on Tuesday, you'll hold the house open for a certain amount of time during every day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Is that right? Am I hearing that right?
Well, no, what we are doing is we are just holding it active. And then we do hold it open on either Saturday or Sunday or both, and sometimes a Friday evening thing for the neighborhood.
Sure. Okay, so you're letting the showing agents know that you'll be responding to offers on Monday.
Correct. That goes in our agent report. In our in our market in North Carolina, we're allowed to do that. Obviously, we have to have the seller's permission, but yes, that's how we do it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. That's awesome. That's not the first I've heard of that system of having that.
We're also beginning to see, I'm hearing from a lot of our agents in Charlotte and Raleigh, which are our larger metropolitan areas, that they are hitting the market midweek and holding showings off until Saturday and Sunday, and they hold the house open for several hours on Saturday, several hours on Sunday, and then present offers.
I've heard that too.
Another one. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are the larger things that we're doing to, the nitty-gritty of keeping our productivity up and continuing to increase our numbers. If I may, I'd love to talk a little bit about just my larger business and how we found success over the years from that regard.
Absolutely.
Okay. With I won't say, with the Blue Company. I joined that company because I was a marketing person for 17 years prior to my real estate career. I joined them because they had the largest brand recognition of any company in the country at that time, and I believed that was what was ingrained with me over 8 years was win at all costs. Absolutely not our number one tenet of win-win or no deal. It was win at all costs. I was a negotiating bulldog. I'm a very high D and a high. I had learned I learned that mentality well, unfortunately. And when I left there, I would say that my biggest takeaway after a year with KW was, wow, my eye was so high It was in my way all of the time, and it was not focused outwards on others. And so in building a successful team, I've taken that knowledge and I've put a lens on my business, especially the last 2 years, of everything that we do, every decision I make, I measure it through that lens of how is this going to help my team have their life by design? How is it going to help my client have their life by design? How is it going to help an agent in my market center, because I've been in productivity coaching as well, have that life by design? It will change your life if you simply ask that question every day on every decision, and continue to keep in mind, how are my decisions going to affect those people that I am in business with? I was so focused, my eye was so high, and I was so focused on myself at the Blue Company. It's almost an embarrassment for me now to look back and look at who I was and then how I have changed in the last 4.5 years.
Sure.
I've read a lot of amazing books that have, I love Gary's book list and Jay Papasan's and everybody involved with Keller Williams. I am a self-professed education junkie. I do go to everything out there that's available, Family Reunion, Mega Camp, Masterminds, and then all of our regional classes that I can get my hands on. The book Go Giver is a recent one that I read, and the first law in Go Giver is your true worth is how much more you give in value than you take in payment. And that really hit me as, wow, this has really been, it's quantifying what I've been about in business in the last 2 years. I love that you can take that statement and you can look at it in relationship to your clients. How much more worth are you giving in value than you're taking in payment? How much more worth are you giving to your agents every day and your team members? Because we can talk about models and systems all day, but a truly successful business models a culture of success, not just in business but in life for all of their members. And it really and truly is my desire that every one of my team members have that life by design, because if they're not succeeding, I'm not succeeding. And there's another book I read. It was by Bob Buford, and it's called Halftime. And it really looks at when you get to the midpoint in your life or your career, and you recognize what kind of legacy am I leaving and what am I giving back. And I have found that if you wake up every day and that's your tenet and that's how you're focused, that it's going to be it's like biblical, pressed down, poured out, given back to you more than you can ever imagine, because you're giving back to others every day.
Sure, that makes complete sense.
Yeah, I did a whole lot of failing forward when I got here. Like I said, I was not the win-win or no-deal agent when I came here. I was. To give you guys a little more background, I was a single agent with an assistant who'd been with me for 6 years. I had unsuccessfully tried to build a team once at the Blue Company. It imploded spectacularly. I was stuck at about 50 deals a year, and I was working 80 hours a week and had no life. And so that's how, when you guys are looking at your profit share tree, there's a lot of agents like me out there that leverage and having a life is how you can get in their ear and get their attention, because it certainly did for me. But by my second year here at KW, I kind of got that feeling, oh, I've got this. I had a strong buyer's agent. I had hired a second one who had a ton of promise, and she's actually the one that is my listing specialist now. She stayed with me. And I was 8 years in strong with my EA by that point. I had joined Matt's coaching in the fall. And, I had this opinion of I'm going to get this team in model if it kills me. And long story short there, it did not kill me, but my entire team left me, because if you have standards, strong standards, and then no grace and no focus on how every one of those decisions is going to affect every team member, you will fail spectacularly, just like I did. But everyone left, including the EA that had been with me for 8 years. She had become great friends with my outstanding buyer specialist, and they went off and built their own team and eventually left the company. But I learned from all of that, also learned that you set those expectations up front, and that if there is no accountability, those standards are just suggestions. And but there's the right way and the wrong way to approach that, because many of the people on this call may be considering a team, or maybe in the process of building a team, or have just gotten a team. Absolutely, you need those standards, but absolutely another huge point that's been big for me is career visioning. You must go through the career visioning classes and learn how to validate KPAs, because it's not just validating KPAs, and it's just not learning who that person is. It is building the relationship up front that is the foundation for the rest of the years you will be in business together with that person. And through that process, you learn so much about them. And near the end of it, one of the last things I do after, all of the things they suggest to me is I give them my sheet of expectations and standards and what their 30, 60, 90 will look like. And I ask them if they can commit to that. Because, again, you can't, I had hired a whole team. I had taught them all of my bad ways that I had learned from 8 years previous, or 9 years in real estate. And then when I tried to, put standards on top of that and change the way they were doing business, everybody fought back. Don't be me. Follow CV. And
Sure.
Way.
Yeah, I think career visioning is happening in our region tomorrow. So if anyone's on this call and they want to get in on it, Nikki's going to be down. I think they're on the East Coast teaching. She's going to be teaching career visioning starting tomorrow. Yeah. So check it out on the South Florida region event calendar. Cool. Yeah. So I can definitely sense that there's a lot of learning that you've had in your business and in your life, and
absolutely.
I so appreciate that, and thank you so much for sharing it.
You're welcome.
One question. So I'm going to open it up to some questions here in just a moment, and yet one thing I wanted to quickly ask would be, how are you incorporating some of the new technology that KW has right now with how you have your systems and structure going on within your team?
Okay. I left Masterminds super excited because Command seems to be nearly ready for teams. And what we have done is, we are putting, right at this moment, a plan in place. My director of operations is supposed to be coming back to me. I'm actually on vacation this week, but when I get back with what our plan is to put Command in place, because I'm one of those agents that's paying for one of those behemoths of a database company, and I cannot wait to get rid of it because, again, we are so hyper-focused and local that paying for leads is not our thing. It is a tiny part of our business, but it's not necessary. And knowing what I know and having gone through that shift previously, that's one of the first things that I want to get rid of. Kelly is, and the app, we are super focused right now on making sure that our agents at all of our listing consultations and at our buyer consultations, that we are getting that app in the hands of our clients so that when it changes over, as Gary said, we are taking territory.
Sure.
I'm making promises, and I'm counting on Gary and Josh to follow us on this.
I think they're good for it.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's awesome.
And of course, Kelly, we're everywhere we go, we're getting as many of our agent friends in our database as possible, because that is one thing. We do a lot of referrals. I think we did nearly 30 deals last year were referral deals from other agents. So we really appreciate our referral business out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Well, I'm going to open it up to the Q&A now. You'll likely hear our Q&A get started. I believe it's *6 if you have a Okay, so I have the Q&A session started, so if anybody would like to ask a question, *6, and I'll put it in the queue. Until then, Ashley, we still got you. You might have jumped off. Are you still with us?
I'm here. I'm still here.
Okay, cool. While we're waiting to see if anyone has a question, I did have a follow-up in regard to some of the stuff you're doing hyper-local with your sphere of influence. What kind of things are you doing to engage your database right now to get them engaged and to keep top of mind?
We do a lot of fun things during the year. We do client events. It starts out on our 36 touch, which really ends up being 40 or 50 some touches. But we try to do 4 events a year. We do a big Christmas party every year. We do a big barbecue fun gathering just during the summer for all of our folks. We do more lower key things that are, I call them events, but they're opportunities for our folks to come. Like we just did a senior seminar for our older folks to come in and do, or people that are at my place in life at Empty Nesters to come in, and brought in an attorney and some other folks to talk with them on what to do at this point in their life with planning. And then first-time home buyer seminars. We do bunny egg hunts. Different things that we've done over time. That basically it's back to the premise of if you invite someone to golf with you, but they can't go. I think I heard that at one of the family reunions or masterminds recently. It's more about the fact that you called them and included them. So it's back to we are calling and including our sphere and our database in all these things that we are doing, asking them to join us. And oftentimes our turnout is very small. We do a dash game every year. That's our local baseball team. And we may have, I think last year we had 35 or 40 RSVP, which is not a lot when you talk about, I've got a sphere of, I think we're up to about 1,600 or 1,700. However, it was all the people that we chatted with and we invited, that's a real impact. And then we call back and we say, we missed you. We hope to see you at the next one. Oh, yeah, we can't wait, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. One thing I've been very purposeful about recently as well is we've got on my calendar once a week to have lunch with a sphere member. Now, I'm going to promise you or tell you a secret that, no, it doesn't happen every single week, which that makes me angry. I fail sometimes. However, it is big when I do, and it, having that conversation, staying in conversation with those people that are your raving fans, really makes a difference.
Awesome, great. So I do have a few folks that would like questions. Looks like Travis has a question.
Hi, Travis.
Travis.
Huh. What's going on, Jake?
Hey, thanks for being on the call.
Yes, I kind of came in a little late. I was just wondering because I caught some of it, but what are the 2 books that you had named?
Let's see. Go Giver was one of them, I think, at the beginning. And
yes.
Let's see. Go Giver is by Bob Berg and David Mann. Trying to remember what else I mentioned.
I think it was Halftime.
Bob Buford. That's Halftime is by Bob Buford. That's a wonderful one. And another one, if you haven't read it, and it's gotten a lot of press lately, but Miracle Morning Changed My Life about 2 years ago. So that by Hal Elrod, that's one of my favorites.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. I've been hearing a lot about that one, to be honest with you.
If you can put those tenets into place, it will truly change everything about your business. One year, Gary Keller told me in 2015 that if he said in a class I was in that if you get up 2 hours earlier, you will make $200,000 more a year. I did it the first year that I put the tenets of Miracle Morning into effect.
Okay. Thank you. That was
You're
all
so
I had.
welcome.
Thank you, Travis.
Enjoy the call.
All righty. Thank you. Okay. Looks like I've got a caller. I don't have a name on it, ending in 1664.
Hi, Jake. It's June Connell.
Oh, hey, June.
Hi.
Hi, June.
So, hi. This has been fabulous. I missed just the first couple of minutes. I'm not sure if you addressed it. I'm curious to know how do you integrate our phenomenal Keller Williams listing service into your coming soon plan, or do you do that? So if you list on a Tuesday, what's your coming soon plan prior to that?
Unfortunately, our market's one of those that does not allow coming soon. Well, they allow it, but you are not allowed to market at all. If you do, the only place you can do coming soon is in our MLS. So unfortunately, I can't speak to that or give you any good advice because in our market we just don't even bother with it because it doesn't help us.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome.
And so, and Ashley, that makes sense that you would then launch Tuesday because here in our market we can do the coming soon, and we do that. Typically, we're coming soon a week before we hit the multiple listing service, and that is that's a spot where we do drive independent buyer leads. We start padding the coffer of agent interest. So when we launch, we do a launch on Thursdays when we launch, and then that has a really successful first weekend, and yet there's usually a week of a coming soon period, kind of like gestation period after that.
Yep, it would be the same type thing, yes. If we were able to do that, I would be all about that.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you so much for the question, June.
Sure.
Thank you.
Cool. Looks like question, Michael, question. You there? You with us? Michael Post, you on the call?
Can you hear me?
Oh, yep. There you are.
Can you hear? All right, perfect. Hey, thank you so much. This is great information and a really great call.
Great.
And I appreciate your time. Just touching on the coming soon, I know, again, we're with Jake. We kind of launch on a Thursday, but the circle prospecting, whether it be by phone call or door knocking, what are the what kind of value are you bringing to those calls to invite them to the open house?
Basically, one of the things that our ISA imparts to the people that she is calling is that she lets them know, she's very purposeful in her script, and she lets them know that, hi, this is Stephanie with Ashley Lay Real Estate, and we are calling because we wanted to let you know about our open house. What we want you to know is that we work very hard for our clients, and we also I can't quote the script exactly, but she's asking them, working in as well, do they have a house to sell? Or do they have, first of all, she'll ask them, do you have any family members or someone, and we don't just say, do you know anyone? It's, do you have a family member or a friend at church or a friend at work that might be interested in this home that we're holding open? And then if they say no and it goes, doesn't go anywhere from there, she says, have you considered putting your own home on the market? Because, there are a ton of buyers out there, and we want you to know that we work very hard to help our buyers find the right property by calling people just like you to find out, if there's a home out there. Because the big objection that we're hearing is there are no properties available. So we let them know that we will proactively search for that home for them, and that's what we're doing with this call. And oftentimes, we have one neighborhood specifically, we have had, I think it's this year alone, we've had 3 or 4 people that wanted to be in that neighborhood, and we have located homes for them and put them in those homes by our circle calling. Yep. So I hope that may not have been exactly what you were looking for, but that's basically the gist of what we're saying when we're calling.
No, that's perfect. And I'm guessing you're not calling the do not call list, right? So you're scrubbing your list.
No, we don't. We do not call the do not call list. Yeah.
And then are you also incorporating door knocking?
I apologize, I didn't hear that. If they are former clients, we, even if they're on do not call, we're calling them because they're already labeled. We actually label our database with the neighborhoods as well. So we sort by that first because we've done them so often, and then obviously whatever, I think we use Land Voice and something else if they're pulling in and they're DNC, we don't call. And then what did you ask about door knocking?
Do you also incorporate door knocking into this same campaign?
We do. We don't do it at the same level as the circle calling, but we absolutely, about once a week, our buyers agents will pick a neighborhood that we've either got a new listing or they're holding open, or they know that the turnover rate is high enough. We look at those ratios and see where's the turnover rate high enough that this neighborhood would be worth, and the price point worth going after. And sometimes they go door knock again because it's a neighborhood that they've had specific requests for people to live in.
Great information. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you for calling.
Cool.
For asking.
So, Ashley, I know we were a little bit over 12:30. I do have one more question in the queue, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely.
Great. Okay. There's a caller question in the queue. 8723 number.
Jake. It's Garrett Grimes. How you doing, Jake?
Hey, Garrett.
And Ashley?
Yeah.
Thank you for spending time with us today. I appreciate it. My question is kind of a follow-up with what you were just talking about. You had mentioned that your business is hyper-local focused, and does that include, or does that mean that you do some kind of geographic farming or demographic farming?
For a long time, it did. For a long time, two things. There were specific neighborhoods. Funny enough, both of my children ended up living in that neighborhood because it's a first-time homebuyer neighborhood. Early in my career, I figured out, just from my marketing background and all the classes I was taking, pay attention to the turnover rates in the neighborhood and how well it resold, and how large would the neighborhood support that. And I found one that's kind of the perfect size. It has about 220 homes in it, and I started focusing on it with mailers, and we would put out the flags at Memorial Day, and once we did a neighborhood yard sale, and we would do neighborhood pickup food drives and that sort of thing. And now in that neighborhood, I probably sell 15. We almost always have a listing in there. I still probably sell about 15 homes a year in there. And both of my children have ended up living in that neighborhood. But it's those kinds of things I did, and then there were a couple more later in my career. I'm not doing as much of it now because we are just doing so much volume that I'm not focusing on one. But I would say if you're not doing the kind of volume I am and you're still under 100 units a year, I would absolutely be geographically farming, because it does. I mean, it's still, I'm not specifically targeting that neighborhood anymore, yet I'm still feeling the rewards of all of those years, which was probably 5 or 6 years of specifically targeting neighborhoods.
Very good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Cool. Thanks for that question, Garrett.
Sure.
All right. So great information. I know we're a little bit beyond 12:30, so I really appreciate everyone who has stayed on the call. And then just wanted to just kind of wrap it up with just some gratitude. Ashley, thank you so much for carving out some time on a Monday. I know you're a very busy lady, and to give back. And you did mention that you had like a teaching sheet on multiple offers. Is that like a one-sheeter?
I think it's a couple pages, but I can get that to you.
Well, what I would say is,
give me a minute to get back in town for a couple.
Take your time. Take your time. One of the things that I've seen is there's, in going back to our tech platform and sharing within Keller Williams, is there's a lot of resources that I've seen on KW Connect. And if you would like to have your operations person put that on KW Connect, I can then link everyone who we marketed the call to then drive that to your KW Connect page if you'd like that.
That'd be fantastic.
And then, because I will also be sending this recording out, so if you didn't catch something, the recording will go out this week, and then we'll be able to link to that through KW Connect as well. And so with that, Ashley, one more time, tell us where you are and how agents can send you those referrals.
Awesome. We are in the Triad region of North Carolina. That encompasses Winston-Salem, Greensboro, High Point. I am actually physically in Winston-Salem, and we would love to have your referrals and would look forward to giving your clients Gold Star service, because that's our motto.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you again. And we do this call once a month, this mastery session call, so we'll be sending out the link in the early part of next month with our next mastery session mega agent. And I'm Jake Iancarelli. I'm the ALC's Productivity Committee Chairperson here in the Clearwater Market Center of Tampa Bay, Florida, and looking forward to connecting with everybody again here soon. So thank you again, and make it a great day.
Yeah, thank you guys for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks again.
Okay.
All righty. Bye.